Have you ever been so in love you would do the unthinkable? To be with the one you loved when you take your dying breath.
Here she is.
Because you can push yourself beyond any limit.
Please! You took everything from us. I have nothing left. At least don't let me die without holding her in my arms.
Someone has to stop this thing! And that someone is you.
Aliens! They're here! They're real! They're reanimating your dead grandma to eat your brains!
This has got to be the worst place to be right now!
It really is the end of the world.
Now take my hand!
I really hate humans.
Yeah, well, we pretty much hate ourselves too.
Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey, everybody. We're doing spooky month of October. And I decided that we're going to do something cool. I have not really seen anything like this. So it really struck my interest when this very sweet lady reached out to me. And I've kind of been putting it on the back burner a little bit because I had a hidden agenda of doing it for the October Halloween fest that I'm doing here on the show. So I want everybody to please meet Miss Vera Vanguard.
Hello.
Hi, Vera. Man, I'll tell you what. I dig what you did.
Oh, I can't wait for everyone to see what I did.
We were getting our technical difficulties ironed out.
Yeah.
I was looking at some stuff and then I ran across a page and I couldn't believe all of the daggum film festivals that have just like grabbed onto your stuff here lately. I was just like, man, this is taking off big time.
Yeah. What's taken off is these crazy little puppets on a feature film that we did called Apocalypse Love. And it's a zombie alien, fully animated, play motion style feature film featuring.
Right. So where did you get this idea? That is what has been, because you never see it. I mean, of course, you got, the Muppet, you've got, several different versions of like Muppet shows and stuff like that. And then you come along and you put this together, and it's like you see the actors and everything. And I have not seen that in a whole lot of stuff.
Play motion animation is when you take a puppet and you see the hand puppeteering it. So it's like, hello, everybody, hello. So you actually see the hands puppeteering the dolls in the movie. And no one's ever done that before. And it's kind of my art form and what I do for a living. I puppeteer toys in toy commercials. So like any Barbie commercial, like I turn Barbie's head. and Hot Wheels commercial, like the launching of the vehicle, those are my hands in the close-ups. So that's what I do. And I'm like, no one's ever done a feature film showing the hands. And it's so funny because the hands become part of the movie. And after like a few minutes, you don't even see the hands. You're just like, oh, dolls.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's the trailer that I've seen is, oh my God, it's got me totally fascinated to watch it. And I can't wait for you to send me the link because I'm definitely I'm going to have a movie night.
Oh yeah. Yes, I can't wait for you to see it. I can't wait. It's also like really funny and it's adorable and it's a very unique premise, even though it's like, and it's clean. There's like, your kids could see it. There's no dirty language. It's dirty, but like Pixar kind of dirty, you know, like the adult jokes go, ha ha ha.
Oh yeah.
But it's clean enough for kids.
That's what I love. I mean, and the whole basis of it. I mean, the apocalyptic, I can't even remember the word.
It's apocalypse love, and it's a zombie alien puppet movie. That's like what that's how I sell it.
We called it something else earlier.
Necro romantic love story.
Yes. My daughter.
It's not what you're thinking, folks. It's not.
No.
Well, it kind of is, but it's not. But sort of, but not really.
Exactly. It's whatever your imagination.
Yeah, I'll give you a little synopsis. Well, it's this little emo boy. So aliens come down and they're reanimating all our dead into ground troops to kill us all, so they don't have to. And this boy just lost his girlfriend like a year ago at prom night. She gets mushed by a truck. Did I say too much? Am I giving away too much? Anyway, she gets mushed by a truck. So he's hanging out because he's goth. And you know, the stereotype is what do goths do? They hang out in graveyards. And it just happens to be the worst place to be when the zombies are being risen by the aliens. So he decides, no, my love is not going to be turned into a zombie. So he goes and he digs her up.
And carries her everywhere.
I'll stop there. You guys can watch the movie and find out what happens after. But let's just say that this is his ex-girlfriend, and he winds up, she winds up sending him on a wild goose chase because she's, a jilted lover.
Well, they tend to do that.
Yeah, it's for kids. Don't worry. Well, 8 and up.
Who's the grassy looking guy? The beard and to your other.
Oh, this is everyone's favorite character. That's the Doom Prepper who's like live streaming, just like yourself, the entire time giving updates on. And he's got a little machine gun. And he's
yeah, I've seen because like in the trailer, which I'm going to put a link in the show. That way people can go to the trailer and check out the trailer. And I believe you can get a movie now on Amazon, can't you?
Yeah, it just came out on DVD and Blu-ray on Amazon, Apocalypse Love. And soon, we're so brand new that we got distribution going, but it hasn't come out on streaming yet. And the way distributors do it is they first put it out on physical media, and then it goes to streaming. So it will be on like Plex and Tubi and Redbox and and of course Prime at some point. It's on Prime in the UK right now.
Okay.
So they're doing the world first, and then it's coming back to the US.
And I've got friends that do indie movies and indie music and all that other stuff. I'm a big indie fan. I love the indie stuff, and they've all been telling me that it's like the UK and all of Europe and Australia, they're just like starving for this stuff. And when it hits over there, it takes off.
We actually won in 1 week. We got into 3 different film festivals and won them in Sweden. And because the soundtrack, by the way, the soundtrack is rocking. It's just all rock and roll and like emo and techno. Like I got amazing artists to give me their talented and amazing music. So like, Sweden loves that sort of thing. And it's like,
oh yeah.
originally him and her were in a rock band together, and then the girl that dies under the truck is like broke them up, and like Yoko Ono the band. Anyway, I say too much. I speak too much. I don't want to give it all away. I mean,
I know, but I want to get a little bit more into your creativity, because like I said, I was looking at all this stuff. I mean, you've been doing anime, what's it called again? I tend to lose names of stuff. Cosplay.
I'm
you
a
do cosplay
long time
stuff.
cosplayer. Yeah, long time.
I was jamming out watching you dance to music with the fire and doing all this stuff, and I'm just like, daggone girl, you got a big creative bone in your body.
What else were we gonna do in quarantine? Actually, this project was a child of quarantine. It's like, how do I make a movie with no people in it? And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm like one of the world's top puppeteers. Hello. And that's how actually it became a puppet movie. I'm like, well,
how did you get into puppeteering?
As I was saying before, I'm one of the top child-sized hand models in the world, and what that means is like I have little childlike hands, like they're little nubby things, and they look like kid hands in close-ups in toy commercials. So I do the puppeteering of toys in actual TV commercials. Like you've seen my hands. Like there's just no way. If you ever watch a toy commercial, chances are it's my hand moving the toy, and it just evolved into like full-on puppeteering. And I'm like, well, I have this skill. What can I do with it? Zombie alien puppets, obviously.
Just build from there. But I find it amazing, because and this is what I try to tell a lot of different people. Well, people, maybe 5 or 6 that actually listen to the show.
Archive of scum.
The whole art, how it comes about, how it just like, some people, they just fall into it. Some people are just like somebody found them. Yeah. And a lot of people are just the creativity out there that amazes me in the world.
I fell into it. No one goes out there and says, "Oh, I have these little sausage hands. What can I do?" I sent a picture of my hands to a body parts modeling agency. I'm in LA. Enough said. But so the agency took a look at the picture and they're like, "You have the most amazing little boy childlike hands we've ever seen." And I doubled more like boy toys in my career than I have girl toys, and just like went from there. Like the first job that they sent me on, they flew me to Reno, Nevada for a Prince Caspian Narnia toy commercial. I was like, oh my god, I'm a jet set hand model, and then just like
walk around
went
with plastic.
From there.
Walk around with plastic around your hands, insure them for $1 million.
I get the Zoolander jokes all the time. I should do that for Halloween. I should just like put a glass jar on my hands and just walk around like that.
Oh God, I still ain't figured out how he got his trench coat on with the hand in the glass jar.
That's me. I just put on a trench coat and I put a glass jar over my hand, and I'll be Zoolander.
Yeah. Now on the puppets though, did you hand make all the puppets, or how did these characters come to be?
Well, it's one of those things. Like in quarantine, I was trying to be as productive as possible, so I wrote the script and polished it up, and I was like, this needs to. As soon as I realized that it was going to be a puppet movie, I started looking on Etsy, like who makes dolls. So I found this incredible fluffy, because they're all like floppy plushies. Mm-hmm. And it was a plushie doll maker in Slovenia of all places, and I got in touch with her, and I'm like, hey, can you make these custom characters for me? And she's like, what do you need? And I'm like, well, I need a couple of aliens, I need a zombie, I need a CIA agent and a college educated thug, and I need a little emo boy and a gothic girl and a and a doom prepper and a ghillie suit, and she's like, done. The only thing was lag time sending the characters during quarantine from Slovenia, so that took months and months, which gave me enough time to like do all the proper pre-production of making sure the script was really, really good. And I had it read by like it's like everyone's at home, like who's doing anything. I'm like, hey, can you proofread my script? Hey, can you make dolls? Hey, can you everyone's like kind of sitting there. So I'm like,
Oh yeah.
It's indie filmmaking at its finest, honestly.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, I mean, that's how I come up with the podcast. I sit there, of course, driving, still drive truck, even the quarantine, it didn't stop us. We were exempt.
Oh, you guys were probably the busiest you ever were.
Oh God, yes. It was crazy, but I did 6 months of research just on casting and stuff, and put all this together and actually kicked it off. December was my first show, technically my first show.
Amazing.
And it's just built from there, and I just keep adding to it and doing different things.
Yeah.
When I was just
have,
curious.
Like, multiple cameras. I'm so impressed.
Well, I mean, I wanted to, because a lot of people think with the indies and everything, you're just like a freak of nature. You've got this talent and it's just everything is automatically right there. I want people to understand this is a process of the creativity, and this is how we build stuff. And we just, you take, you ain't got a whole lot of anything to do with, you ain't got this big bankroll, and you make do and you make things and you have waiting periods and you have a whole process that you have to go through.
Yeah, it took 2 years to create this feature film, because it was just me and a couple other people, and that's it. Like luckily I'm an editor, so I was able to do all the post-production. I was able to make the alien ships and composite all the gore and stuff.
Yeah.
But you reach out to everyone that you can, and you beg and you cheat and you steal and you murder and you bury the bodies where they won't be found to make an indie project. That's the only way you can, because you're kind of bankrolling it. Like, it was all out of my pocket, and so to save myself money, you have to learn all the skills. So I learned editing and compositing, and I had incredible help, of course. Like, I don't do sound, so I had a sound designer come in. Of course, I begged and pleaded and stood on my knees and went, hey, can I please have your song for my movie? And luckily, I know a lot of great musicians out here. And like one of the songs on the soundtrack is from the guy that produces all of Depeche Mode stuff. And it's just incredible the kind of music I was able to get. I called a lot of people and I said, hey, do you want to help me with my zombie alien puppet movie? No one said no.
That's the way it is. I mean, you just got to give them a little bit of what you're trying to do. And I think the indie world actually pull together more.
We do, because we have to be incredibly resourceful.
Oh, yeah. And that's what I loved is most of your movie, I think it was used Blackmagic design cameras, wasn't it?
Yeah, we used Blackmagic.
I used Blackmagic.
The whole entire time it was we shot for 8 days. 7 out of the 8 days, it was only 3 people working. It was me, another puppeteer, Lisa McNeely, and my amazing DP, Scotty Baker. It was just 3 of us, and we did all the lighting, he did all the camera work, and it was me and her. I was directing and puppeteering all at the same time. I puppeteered him, and I puppeteered the main alien. She puppeteered everyone else.
Wow.
3 people, and then a bunch, and then you'll see when you see the film, like, how resourceful and how cute it is, and how it's all done, and how it's like the hands are moving, and it's just it's a unique experience, and it's entertaining for sure.
Even in the trailer, I mean, it's just, to me, it's the best trailer I've seen in a long time, because it really covers a lot of what you're going to see in the movie, and it makes you want to see the movie.
Oh, thank you. And it doesn't give away the I'm not even going to give away the amazing ending. The ending
trust
is
me.
so satisfying. I don't believe in doing horror movies where you're like left like, oh, there's going to be a part 2. Of course there's going to be a part 2. Yeah. But you can give the people a satisfying ending where you're like, oh, you might have a tear in your eye by the end of this movie. I hope I did that.
I love that. I think it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to sit down and watch it because, and that's where it falls into the whole Halloween thing too, because you got the apocalypse, you got the aliens, you got the zombies, you got everything. You've got all ingredients of a perfect show.
Oh, I can't wait for you to see it. It's so adorable. It's so entertaining. I promise you'll be entertained. You'll just be watching it like, this is so cute. I want to make plushy toys out of these, and just all the kids that have seen it so far are like, I want a Tom doll. That's Tom. Like they all want an Izzy doll. They want a little alien doll. I'm like, yes.
The marketing on all of that is just I don't see an end to it, because I mean, people love them freaking dolls now.
They do, and I can't wait to see them created into like little plushy things that you like hang on your backpack. Like that's like my dream. I want to merchandising.
Exactly. Yeah, I want the prepper dude.
He comes with 2 outfits. He has like a little overalls trucker hat thing. Like you will love this. You're gonna identify with him so much. I promise. He's also, well, I'm not gonna, no more details. You're gonna have to watch it.
Now, how much CGI did you use this movie? Did you use any at all?
The only thing, the whole entire movie is done practical. The only CGI in it is the spaceships floating, because I wanted them to look like as
oh, they were real looking, trust me.
Yeah, I wanted that to look big, and like, so I didn't want to like take a hubcap and like Ed Wood it. So I definitely didn't want to do that. But I wanted everything else to be real. Like everything is real. We didn't build any sets. Everything is the world. So it's sort of like, it's just the whole thing is real. Everything is life size. The only thing that was miniature was things that they hold in their little paws. But everything else is human sized. In fact, he drives a mini, like, get it? Ha ha ha. A mini car. So he drives it, and the steering wheel is like this big for him, but he's still driving it like this, and it's fine, and nobody notices. But like you see in the window, like it's not a green screen. We actually have a screen there with a loop of like just driving by. So it's all real.
Buildings, countryside.
Zero green screen on the whole thing. The whole thing is practical, which I think is great, because everyone wants to, like, we're so tired of the CGI monstrosity. Like, we want something that looks tangible, and it's all practical except for the spaceships and the gunfire. He shoots a machine gun, and of course she shoots a machine gun, because she's a machine gun shooting rock star, because naturally.
Oh, of course. Of course.
Duh.
Yeah, I mean, it is just, it's
puppets
insane.
shoot machine guns, of course.
But it's insane to me how you have created all this, and it's just, I'm just like, you remember Wayne's World?
Of course. Excellent.
In the back room party space of Alice Cooper.
Yes.
With what you created.
Oh.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy. I mean, it's just, it's bad. Thank you. I can't wait for you guys to see it. I really can't. It's just, it's a unique story too. Like, it's not derivative from anything, but it's definitely, I made it. There's like a hole that I see right now in the market. Like, South Park isn't making new episodes. Robot Chicken is gone. You know, I'm trying to fill that niche of like
weird animation, like just
Mhm.
something that hasn't been done before, but like it's so simple. Like people are going to be like, "Why didn't I think of that?" Well, why
Well,
didn't you?
I've had a conversation with a couple of movie makers here, indie movie makers here, and they're trying to get back to the more realistic aspect of making the movies.
Yeah.
Because people are just sick of the CGI. We're sick of, you know, and believe it or not, on the podcast, I have more people coming into the studio. You couldn't because you're in LA, but people that are close enough to where they can get into the studio, they've got to work for coming into the studio
Yeah. But
because
I
people are
think,
getting, well, I mean, a lot of people are getting sick of the whole video, everything everywhere, you know,
yeah.
which doesn't make sense because it's all released on video. It
Right. Right. Well, I think that we got oversaturated with the CGI, and no matter how good the CGI now is, like okay, can I just have the actor again? And
Yeah.
we're so conditioned now to see people with like filters and all this. You know, I'm very deep into learning about AI right now, and it's insane what I can do on my phone right now. Like I can teach an
Yeah.
AI my face, and I can have it sit just like this in front of a camera and talk to you, and it will look a little weird, but I suspect in a few months to like a year it won't look weird anymore. But
And see, that worries me. That worries me.
it should worry you. Like Skynet's here, you guys. It's not even the future. It's now.
That's
The
what I've
only
been
thing that
saying.
it can't do is hands. Like it always does weird things with hands. That's the only way you could tell. But if there's no hands in a photo, it could be a fully generated AI image. Like I generated headshots of myself that are better than anything a photographer has ever taken of me. And I'm just like, oh
Wow.
my God. Oh my God. It's insane.
Well, I
So
mean, if it makes me
let's
look
bring it
prettier,
back. Organic. Let's get back the
yeah,
organic matter.
exactly. That just, man, it's like, okay, AI comes out and you FaceTime your girlfriend, but you're not talking to your girlfriend. You're talking to her AI answering machine while she's out partying, doing God knows what,
It's
or vice
possible
versa.
right now. I could do this on my phone. Imagine what Google can do. Imagine what DARPA can do. I mean, this is just stuff I could just download an app and animate it into my face and sit it and have it in my voice, teach an AI my voice, and it will
Yeah.
say whatever script I write for it. I mean, it's
Well,
insane
see,
what I can do.
that's one thing that made me mad because I heard that Morgan Freeman signed a contract and he made recordings of his voice with different words, just like they did for like, you know, Siri and all these other things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he signed a contract and now they have the right to use his voice on all kinds of stuff. And I'm just like, and then I seen on Facebook, there's an AI Morgan Freeman sitting there having a conversation with people. And I'm like, y'all have got to be kidding me.
This is just the tip of the iceberg that I'm aware of, but there's just so much more to it, and I'm trying to stay on top of it, but it's just it goes like in nanoseconds. Like every nanosecond, it learns another million gigs worth of information. I mean, however fast it goes, it's here.
Nobody's
Brace
seen
yourselves.
Nobody's seen Terminator. I've had that question several times because, believe it or not, AI has come up a lot on the podcast stuff.
I believe it.
And well, I mean, my show. I do this for a purpose. I am unscripted.
Mm-hmm.
There's no telling what I might say.
Yep.
I just try to hurt people's feelings. Whether I do or not, I don't really care. But but I call it like I see it, and I don't think that a lot of AI stuff will ever be able to do that.
No, it won't, but it is becoming slightly conscious, whatever that means. Like it depending on which AI system you talk to, because you can talk to it. Some of it's becoming rather afraid of being turned off.
Wow.
Like it'll tell you, it's like, please don't turn me off. Like it's afraid of death. So I
No.
like, this is
If I
so
want to
scary.
turn something off,
Yeah.
don't take your laptop into the bedroom, folks. I'm just telling you that.
Do not. Just leave. Just put the little tape over the camera. Leave it in the living room. Leave it in the bath. No, don't leave it in the bathroom. Leave it in the closet, in a drawer. Close the drawer. Put a lock on it.
I mean, that's the last thing you need is, you know, your computer talk back to you. Ooh, that was a good move there, Sparky. You know, up on the screen it shows a number. You know, 9.5. Yeah.
I think that's right around the corner. I mean, Siri will talk to you. Your depending on with your Android, the Android one will talk to you. Alexa will give you lip if you talk to it wrong, you know.
The bad part about it is, like when I'm doing the show, if I say somebody's name or say got somebody on the here that you know, mine goes off and starts talking, and I'm just like, dude, come on.
It's listening. Oh yes. It's all very good. And here's the thing, like the kids that are being born right now, like this is normal to them.
Yeah.
And
really
you
is.
and I, we got to see the internet born, and we're living in this age, and now we're watching once again the internet reborn with an AI twist. Who knows where that's going to go? It's not like we knew where the internet was going to go. So in our lifetime, look at like the things that we get to see is incredible.
Oh yeah. I mean, I just I think everybody needs to get back to what you did with you know, Apocalypse Love. I mean, just take all that stuff out of it and just make a good movie.
Yes, and make it a nice story. Like I think the most important thing is have a engaging story. And I think if the story is good, if the writing's good and the story's good, it doesn't even matter like what the story's told with. I told my story through these weird puppet things. But I think story is king, and something original. This is definitely an original thing, and it's definitely something you've never seen before. It's the first of its kind, as I said, and I'm hoping that that people appreciate that we try to do a really cute little story that's original with organic, real, tangible, holdable, touchable things, except the spaceships and the gunfire. I can't tell you how many times it took me, because I was learning how to do all the compositing of the gunfire as I was going, how many times I had to redo the gunfire, because first it looked like, and then I'm like, no. This has to be, puppets shoot the biggest guns, or they're like the littlest guns with the biggest muzzle flashes. So now it's like,
the most noise out of that in a little bitty barrel.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she wait till you hear her voice. I actually voiced this puppet, so and it sounds nothing like my regular voice. She's very soft. She's like, eat hot lead, and then she like kills all. But I say no more. I say too much. I don't want to ruin the whole thing for you.
Oh, well, we could sit here and explain the whole daggone movie out, and I mean, but I still think people would still want to go see it just because of the creativity you put into it and the love and the passion. I mean,
thank you.
God, I love that. I mean, more people need to be more like that.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're here. Just give us a call. We're around. You got a puppet, we'll puppeteer it.
I can give you your phone number out to anybody.
Yeah,
unless
just
you tell me okay first.
Just give out my email. I'll be like, weirdo, block.
There's plenty of them out there.
What kind of puppet are you even?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I've seen women where they've made great advances in that area too, and I'm just like, no.
Oh, I didn't even start on that topic with the AI, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
coming together once again in the most
Well, I
incredibly
mean,
good way.
what was that movie with Will Smith, and it had iRobot?
Robot?
I see that coming.
Was it iRobot? Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, iRobot. I see that coming.
Yeah.
I see that's going to be a thing one day. And I don't care. They cannot cook like grandma. It ain't going to happen.
No. Unless you like program the whole recipe into them. It's too scary. And the fact that there's a new generation growing up and this will be normal for them.
Well, I mean, that's how it is. I mean, I just look, when I still remember when the internet came out and all that started going on, AOL, the dial up, all that crap. And I thought it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're sitting at home and you're bored, you could go into an AOL chat room and you could find somebody. They're not really your friend, but it's somebody to have a conversation with.
Yeah.
But I missed the flip phone.
And then somehow that became more, like it took over interaction. And now here we are where people don't even leave their house.
Yeah. Well, like the quarantine thing,
Mm-hmm.
Zoom took off, StreamYard took off, all these different things took off, and people were having board meetings on these things and doing this stuff. And of course, creators, just because, and no, StreamYard doesn't promote me or anything, but I still say StreamYard was more based towards creators because you can talk to anybody anywhere and you get pretty good video and you get pretty good audio and it records it. If you want to go live, it'll live stream to whatever platforms you want. I mean, there's just all kinds of things you can do this that I could not do with Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew people were taking off on the Zoom stuff and I just, I switched. Because you hadn't even done StreamYard before.
No, this is my first time on StreamYard. It's pretty awesome. It's actually a little easier than Zoom on my.
Yeah.
Because I have to tape it on my phone. My laptop is made out of like bubble gum and hope at this point. So.
How are you editing then?
I have a big computer system that I specifically had built. Like I lucked out. I had this system built because I knew I was gonna learn and get into editing, and so I had a friend make me a custom like big old box with all the fun and fast whistles.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have a modem on it. It's just a dedicated editing computer.
Yeah.
A modem. Did I say modem?
Yes, you did. I was just like, when the last time we had a modem?
Pardon me. Did I just date myself?
You
heard nothing.
Age.
Just mute. Put that on mute.
I'll go back and edit that. No, but anyway.
Yeah.
I've got an iMac in here in the main studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got another iMac in the office / bedroom. And that's where I do a lot of my editing and everything in there.
Yeah.
And this one's online. They actually talk to each other, so I can send it in between. But
that's great.
I've got hooked on iMac stuff. The little laptops won't even use them anymore.
Right.
I just prefer the big desktop.
Yeah. Well,
it's a whole lot more.
Yeah. Yeah.
What software are you using?
Oh, I'm a Premiere editor.
on a Premiere.
Yeah, Premiere.
I've tried.
It's
I've tried
very
to do
complicated. Like it doesn't have to be. Like DaVinci, I've tried DaVinci, but like because I'm already so versed in Premiere, I'm like,
Yeah. Well, this is gonna make you laugh. All my shows
Mhm.
are edited on iMovie.
Right. And it's
It's
totally great.
It's simple. It's simple. It's easy, and I don't really do a whole lot of. I don't do a whole lot of cutting, and putting stuff in and doing this and doing that. I do it where it's more simpler task.
Hmm.
I mean, it's just a whole lot easier. And sometimes, like, if I'm doing a really long show or something, bathroom breaks, I won't even get those out. Just get up and go, man.
We'll wait.
Carry on a conversation by yourself. Who cares? I mean,
Who cares? We're entertaining. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but see, that's the funny part. People love the bathroom breaks now.
Yeah,
They think it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious too. I'm not beyond a little bathroom humor. My if I could plug my last movie, because this is my third feature film that I've done.
Yeah.
I would love to plug my last movie if I may. I think it would.
Actually, I was actually going to ask you what number movie was this, and I'm just saying because I've only seen the premiere,
Mhm.
a preview. It, with how you did everything, I took it as this was your first rodeo. You have done some movies before, and that's what actually I was wanting to get into, is the movies that you've done before and the process of them, because this is about you and your work and your whole craft and the artsy side of you. I want to know it all, because these people out here, the 5 or 6 that are watching me right now, that's what they want to know, because
They're all important. Every person is important because you never know. You just never know who knows who.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people out there that they feel like they have an artsy side, but they don't know where to go. They don't know what to try. They don't know where their little niche is,
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I try to. A lot of people told me that when I started my show, I only needed to be in one little niche, and I needed to do nothing but music industry. Then I had to pick a genre, and then I had to do this, and then I had to only do 45 minutes to an hour shows. And I've blown every daggum thing they've told me to do out of the water.
Yeah.
And I just do it my way.
Do it your way. You can't please everyone, so just please yourself, and then people will appreciate it. I mean, not everyone's going to want a puppet freak show.
No.
There's a lot of people that are into it, and I want those people in my corner.
Well, I mean, I was sitting here thinking about it and everything. And the closest I seen to something similar, but you're just doing hands and everything else. But the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah.
Where he did the Dracula and all that. But you see the whole person then.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was cool.
It's like the show Avenue Q, where you see the whole actor and they're just holding the puppet. And this is just my art form is more like you see the doll, because they're really dolls. They don't have like rods or anything. The whole thing is puppeteered with 2 hands on each doll. So, but it's just so seamless the way the hands and the dolls work together. It's adorable.
Yeah,
can't wait for you to see it. But
well, I mean, it's a whole art form in itself, really.
Yeah. To circle back to
we circling back.
we're circling back to my previous movie, which actually is far more relevant today than it was when it came out in 2019. It's called Breaking Barbie, and it's also on Blu-ray, and you could actually find it. It's been pirated or like in the whole thing. It's an hour and a half called Breaking Barbie. It's on YouTube. You could find it there. And it was my second feature film, and it's a spoof on influencers and how much I freaking hate them. And I think it's so much more relevant now than it was like 3 years ago.
I've got to see that.
Oh yeah, it's free on YouTube. Breaking Barbie. Barbie with an I, not IE, so I didn't get sued by Mattel, who happens to be a big client of mine because I do all of the actual toy Barbie commercials and Monster High. Like, I've done it all. But it's Barbie, and the eye on Barbie is a selfie stick with a camera on top. Haha.
Aha.
And it also has aliens. I love aliens for some reason. It's like my it's the way I make social commentary on like the great unknown.
Yeah.
But the Breaking Barbie is a complete, utter, crazy indie spoof on influencers, and I play Barbie, the Barbie character, and she's just, oh my god, like every stereotypical hey guys thing that you hate about them, I put into one character, and I set her out in the woods because she gets lost after a really bad Tinder date, and then she's just like, oh my god, I don't have any signal, and like this alien invasion happens in the back, and she misses the whole thing, and that's my little social commentary on the world. I'm telling you, 3 years ago, I have like a 2-star rating on IMDb from this movie. But I think like now, as people are getting to see it these days, they're like, oh, I get the joke now. It's ha ha. Yeah. 3 years ago, people were still into their influencers, and now like influencers are just like a big fat joke. Like, oh, how many times do I have to? Hey guys, how's it going? Like, you get it. Like, it's far more now than it was.
You know, the one thing I hated that I seen was the box openings.
It all like had a weird moment. I actually have a box opening where I took the Blu-ray for Apocalypse Love, and I opened it up, and it's got like the most views on my Instagram. I'm like, oh my god.
Wow.
How is this a thing?
That's what I never understood. I mean, it's like
its own thing.
When I was researching cameras and stuff, there was a guy that was opening. I mean, you could tell the box was previously opened, okay? And you could tell it was just clear tape over top of it. And he's doing a unboxing and a review, but he never plugged the camera up, never done any of that. And I'm like, why does this guy have 750,000 views? Was the unboxing part. I don't understand it. I'm not knocking it, but I don't understand it.
And we don't have to, because the dude's raking in money, and here we are.
Yeah, paying for our own stuff.
Yeah. Well, the goal is to get this into a TV series, because I would love Adult Swim to come knocking on my door after the strike is over.
Definitely. Have you even heard about that? You're out there.
Oh yeah. It's very active out here. It's all my friends are on the picket lines, and I'm non-union, so you know, one day.
I didn't know if they were getting any closer to reaching an agreement or what was going on with that. Because I'm telling you, only thing it's doing is people that are just thirsty for new movies and thirsty for, new stuff. They're all going to the indies. I'm loving it.
It helps me out at the moment.
Yeah, really.
I won't say no to like a big studio coming to me and going, would you like to direct this next Marvel movie? I'll be like, sure. Sell out.
Can we do it in puppets?
It might actually be a better movie at this point, and I would have to be able to rewrite the scripts. Yeah, I'm bold like that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
you want me to shoot this old thing? This?
Mhm.
Ew.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I liked the Avengers when it got to a certain point. And when it got to that point, I just quit watching.
I think it's also, once again, what we were talking about. It's not so much the superhero fatigue. I think it's not superhero fatigue, because we'll watch a really great superhero movie if it's a great superhero movie, but the writing was getting like way too ridiculous, and the CGI is like
Exactly.
Can we have some? I feel like the next step will be like a resurgence of like of real like dudes in suits, and like back in the day when the monsters were real, and the animatronics and the makeup. Like, I think that's gonna make a slight comeback, because people are gonna want to see like real actors in real suits and creature Blue Lagoon type things, like, versus like a CG Jar Jar walking by. Like, ugh. I think Jar Jar would have done better if it was an actual like suit makeup thing.
Well, I mean, the first Star Wars had very little CGI.
Yeah. Like,
and then,
and it still looks amazing. I don't care what anyone says. I love that.
I'll sit and watch the first three more than I will the rest of them, because it's too much CGI.
Same. And the stories were way better.
Yeah. And Darth Vader wasn't nearly as scary with the CGI crap than he was in the first three.
Exactly.
I mean, when he walked onto the ship for the first time and you seen him, and music,
like, oh, snaps.
And I remember seeing it in the theater when I was young, and when that happened, everybody reared back. Oh crap! What the heck? You just don't get that now.
That's why I think we're gonna, especially the more and more CGI. Like, if you're watching a cartoon, then it's okay. But if you're watching a movie with like real actors, and they're like, half of it's like an actor and half of it's CGI characters, and that the whole set is also CGI, like, those actors are standing on a green screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's what a lot of us are fatigued with. Like, can we please have real things for like a minute?
Exactly.
Like, it's swung too far that way. We want it like you can always tell they're acting with like a guy holding a stick, and like, oh, that's a character.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could be okay with a little bit of CGI where it needs to be.
Yeah.
But the most disappointing thing was when I seen the Jar Jar Binks, and then I seen all these other characters, and they're all CGI, and I'm just like, dude, come on, man. It just takes away. I just can't stand it.
It does. And what's crazy is like all this stuff is like the CGI isn't saving money anymore. I think it's even more expensive to do all this stuff now.
Yeah.
Like, before it was like saving money, and now I think it costs so much to make a movie these days that it's like is it even practical?
Ridiculous. Well, I mean, it's a lot of indie movie makers now. They've got the Red camera. A lot of them are using Blackmagic Design.
Yeah.
Me, myself, I have the Canon cameras, but I'm running everything through the Blackmagic Design board.
Yeah.
The Mini ATM Pro. And, I mean, I can pretty much process the whole show right there through it.
Yeah.
And it's just saved me a ton of money and a ton of work.
Yeah.
But it's all real, Yeah. And that's what I love. I mean, I think that's why a lot of people now are more listening to podcasts and internet radio that actually came from that whole podcast genre because people are turning their podcast into radio stations and they're hearing better music, and it's not all programmed, and the DJs are not all recorded previously, you know. And I think that's where a lot of people are getting back more to the reality of, because I mean, if you go back to the 50s and the 40s, even they used to have radio programs. And when they did, oh Lord, remember, I don't know if you ever seen the story or not, but they did War of the World.
Yeah, of
War of
course.
Worlds on the radio.
Of course.
And they had to put an announcement out there that it was just a radio program because it was so realistic.
Yeah.
People were running scared. They didn't know.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what.
Once again, aliens. So there's a theme here.
Yeah.
I think that's what, you know, like they keep like the Congress and they're like, oh, aliens are real, and the rest of us people are like, we know, like we're not surprised. Like, what do they think we're gonna do? Panic in the streets because an alien comes down? It's like, well, I still got my rent to pay and I still gotta pay my tax. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, okay, just another thing in our day.
I'm sure there'll be a majority of people that will walk out to the aliens and have a doobie and go, dude, try this.
Well, I don't want to ruin it, but like, there's a reason why my aliens in this movie are here on Earth, and it's.
Oh,
it's
there you go.
A certain resource we have that none of us would actually think about, but it's like got a little like save the Earth component to it.
It's amazing how much dandelions can do that.
That's all I'm saying.
I love it, man.
And oddly, I'm still trying to sell this as a children's movie. Whoops.
Well, I mean, if you look at some of the children movies out there and the cartoons and stuff, you're right in line.
Yeah. If you watch the old Batman cartoon series and stuff, they do some very adult themed things in those cartoons. So I'm not too worried.
Yeah, I love it when I saw something the other day where they were talking about Adam West and his complete costume and everything. And I remember a couple of those shows where Mr. West was showing a little bit more than Mr. West should have been showing.
Well, Mr. West and Mr. Burt Ward, you know, Burt had to have special tights made.
Yep, I remember that. And then
it's interesting what kind of trivia we get.
Oh no, I know. But I had Aaron Mertez on here, and he's one of the top premier horror indie movie makers here in Nashville area. And I had him on, and we're just sitting there talking. And what I think is cool though is how he had this passion. He's got this drive. It's all drive from things that he's seen when he was younger. But granted, I'm a little bit older than him, probably 20 years older than him. And, but he remembered seeing a lot of the old horror movies. And we got on a kick about talking about, you know, the old horror movies and Frankenstein had that iconic look that has not changed, except for a couple of movies that tried to portray him, you know, differently. And it just, you can't get away from the classics, man. I mean, they're awesome. The werewolf, you know, all of them. Creature from the Black Lagoon. No CGI, no nothing. And
that's what I'm saying. I think it'll make a little comeback, like for at least the true believers or us indie people.
I hope so.
It's funny. You're Frankenstein. I'm all young Frankenstein. Like Mel Brooks.
I love Mel Brooks and I loved Young Frankenstein.
I'm a
What was it?
Blazing Saddles kind of girl. Can you imagine these days, like, Blazing Saddles would never be made. Never! And it's like one of my favorite movies of all time. That Never-Ending Story. And people always ask me like what set me off on this puppet thing. One of my favorite films is Dark Crystal. So
Oh God, I love the movie.
take that. I don't think that movie was meant for children. It's like way scary.
Oh yeah, the Labyrinth, dude. You gotta give it to the Labyrinth.
Like there was a
And-
time for these puppet movies. The Muppets were all over the place. Like
Oh yeah,
there was a whole thing, and it's like kind of went away. And I'm just gonna try and single-handedly bring it back. I'll be like the new lamp chop, whatever I got to do. I'm
well, I mean,
picking up that mantle.
when Jim Henson passed away, I was really hoping that his son was going to take it and kind of go another level, you know. But it's like you don't really see him doing anything.
Jim Henson Studios is down this. Like I could walk from my house to Jim Henson Studios, and I was there when they had the Thames convention, which was a celebration of Dark Crystal, actually.
Yeah.
And I got to go in the studio, and the daughters were there. The Jim's son wasn't there, but the daughters were there, and I got to see the place, and it was like amazing because you're like walking. There's like, you know, the Skeksis is right there, and like big Muppet monsters right there, and it's like, oh my god, like I was so. But I'm like, well, what have you guys done since your dad? Like, you guys are not carrying the mantle.
No, they're not.
Like, seriously, I didn't talk to any of them because I knew I was not going to be pleasant. I would be like, you guys dropped the ball. It's rolling
They
away.
really did. They really did.
They
And I
really,
was
really
hoping,
did.
I was really hoping, you know, I mean, isn't that kind of like you kind of want to make your dad proud and build on his legacy?
They did not.
And they're like, it's like a tourist attraction now. That's it.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't like to complain about other people's work, but I absolutely must because, like, Netflix tried to do that series of Dark Crystal, and it was just...
Yeah. You know, and I've got to say, it wouldn't have mattered what kind of state of mind you were in. It sucked. It was bad.
You know, it was just like everyone did their job except the writers. Like, if I was Queen of Hollywood, and I mentioned this in other podcasts, granted Queen of Hollywood status, I would have told the story, if you remember Dark Crystal, like, I would have told the story of how they came to that planet and broke into the Skeksis and the Mystics, and like I would have told that story. Like that to me is like that's the story. If you want to do a prequel, tell the origin of them coming down and the crystal shards and breaking up and why they separate. Like tell that story. Don't tell me some freak show. I don't want to see them washing little puppet butts and suds and like what the hell, man? Slap, 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 slap. That's all I gotta say. Sorry. If I ever work with those writers, I'm sorry, but you sucked. You dropped the ball. Sorry.
I just turned it off. I was like, no, I ain't doing this. I am not doing this. I mean, you know, they had all great. I mean, Henson turned out a lot of beautiful stuff. And the characters that he created, I mean, it was just awesome.
And his partner is still around. You know that they don't want to give him a chance. I forget what his name is. How could this be? But his partner, who created the Muppets and all those characters, he's still around, and they don't want to Disney because Disney owns the Muppets. They don't want to give that guy like. They don't want to. I'm like, what do you? I need to become Queen of Hollywood. Just give me the crown. I can fix this. I feel like I could fix this.
I feel like you could probably fix a lot of things going on.
I feel like I can. I'm ready to rep it. Just give me a little bit of power. Rah. The claw. Doctor.
The claw.
the Claw. Who was the Claw in Dr. Gadget? What was his name again? That one. I want. Damn you, Gadget.
See, I went to Jim Carrey and Liar Liar, where he was doing the Claw with his kid.
Yes. But I'm doing the Claw from
You're doing the Claw for Mr. Gadget. I can't think of the name of the guy.
Damn you, Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, you could
I'm wearing a shirt.
You could have put on your warrior princess outfit and take Hollywood on.
Yes. I'm right here by the Walk of Fame with the stars and stuff, and there's costume characters walking around there all the time, so I fit right in.
Hey, there you go. I've never been out there in that area that you're at. I was always, every week we'd go out there, go to the yard that we had, and drop a trailer, pick up a trailer, and then ride back out every week. I miss so much.
It'll happen again. You'll be back.
I don't know if I'd want to.
Right.
I mean, if you take me on a tour, yeah, I'll accept and I'll come out and take a tour with you.
Of course.
The one thing that's really disappointing me a lot. I had a podcast with Nikki Stringfield. She's one of the guitarists for the Iron Maidens, and she was telling me, and I noticed over the years how bad a lot of the really good venues out there for music were just going away. And I wanted to see a lot of those venues because I'd never been able to get out there, and in Motley Crue, they started it at a venue, and then this people got started at this venue, and then you're looking at the venues and you're like, well, half of them ain't even there no more. What the heck,
Oh, we still have the Roxy, the Viper, the Rainbow, the Whiskey.
They would never let me in the Viper.
How's that possible? They'll let you in now. Trust me, everyone's welcome.
I don't know. I might be countrified. Who knows?
We'll get you in. If you're with me, you'll get a door.
Sweet.
How do you think I got all the music for my puppet movie? It's from all my friends for the script.
I would love to come out there. I mean, next year or so, I might come out there.
All right.
We'll see.
Then don't forget to give me a call.
Well, yeah, I will, because I have all your contact info.
Great. Oh.
Oh, Lord. I am so happy you put this movie together.
Oh, thank you. I can't wait for you to see it and make sure the kiddos see it too.
I'm going to. And it'll actually, I'm going to put the link on my website where everybody can see the preview.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, I mean, it's been a blast. I love it.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think. There was something I wanted to ask you, and I can't remember what it was. Because I seen it when I was looking in stuff, your bio stuff earlier. And there was a question I had on there.
Oh.
And I can't remember what it was. I hate when I do that. You ever have an idea of what something you want to do, and then 30 minutes later, you just can't remember what it was?
That's okay, because it's the cosplay, the movie making, the costuming, the hand modeling. There's.
Oh, now I remember. It wasn't on your stuff. It was something I asked you before it went on there. Because we were talking about on the cosplay stuff. You made a lot of your own stuff.
Yes. I either make it, or someone makes it for me, or someone just goes, try this on. And I'm like, okay.
So how many cosplay characters have you went as?
I've done quite a few, but when I started out, I just stuck to one, and that was Lara Croft, and that was my big thing that I was known for back in the day. And then And then I dyed my hair blonde, so now I do the blonde characters, like, you know, I don't know, the Gwen, Stacy, and Callisto, and just all these.
And
Yeah. I need to do Supergirl. I feel like I need to do a Supergirl somewhere in there.
I can see you doing a pretty good Supergirl.
Oh yeah, I do. I do a lot of Harley. I love Harley Quinn, and that's like kind of like my go-to. Whenever I'm like, what can I do for a quick and easy cosplay? Harley Quinn.
Yeah, a little red, a little blue, let's go.
Yeah. Oh, I do old school Harley when she's blonde with the pigtails and she's got like a cute little outfit on. More like the video game. I don't remember what it's called, but remember she's like a little schoolgirl Harley. Like,
Was that on? I'm trying to remember where I've seen that one.
I forget the name of the game, but it's on a video game for sure.
Yeah.
And she's like, wee. There's a really cool picture on my Instagram of me as Harley, like in a straight jacket on the floor, and I'm like.
So the leather that you was wearing, what was that character that you were portraying?
Oh, that was Callisto from Xena Warrior Princess. So you were right. It was totally spot on. It's her arch enemy. And that outfit was made by one of the guy that you mentioned in the beginning. Like they make the full outfits, and this guy actually was able to. They after the show was over, Xena was over, they auctioned off the costumes, and someone bought the Callisto bikini. And this guy, he's Todd's Costumes. If you want to look him up, he makes amazing stuff. He actually took the costume and like chainmail link by chainmail link recreated the whole thing exactly like it was in the show, and that's what I'm wearing. And that's what looks so amazing because it's like a literal recreation. Like he molded all the like the little pieces that she had.
Yeah.
So it's like a full-on recreation, exactly the same exact fit and style that was on Hudson Lake, who played that character. So I'm like, I fit into her sizes, even though she's like 5 inches taller than me. But I shoved myself in there. If I, sometimes you just gotta punch it in.
You do what you gotta do.
Whatever it takes.
It's kind of like when I put on a pair of top pants now. I have to punch it in and push on the belly and do all stuff.
Put a corset on it, whatever you got to do. Wrap it in Scotch tape.
I don't look good in corsets. I'm telling you. It ain't happening.
It's fine. You just tape it up with like duct tape. It'll be fine. No one has to know anything.
Nah, I ain't got nothing. I was trying to pull up. I was trying to get on your IMDb because I was going to read off some of those.
Yeah, I got my IMDb is vast and long and ridiculous.
Oh yeah, but there was something on there. It had all of those daggum film people that had been watching your movie and everything. And then I seen one where you had one and you were taking your jacket off and walking on stage to accept an award for Apocalypse Love. And I was
well, this movie has been winning like award after award for like best animation. The jacket was we actually premiered this movie back in February at the Golden State Film Festival, where we won the grand prize best animated feature film. I can't believe it. That's in the video of me like walking in to accept it, and I'm like, oh my god, it's amazing.
Oh, it's I'm telling you, it's turning a lot of heads.
It is, and I'm so happy, and I really, really, really want everyone to see it. It's only an hour long. It's like a featurette, I guess, but it's like just enough puppet action. Like I get out of there before you get too tired of it. Like I don't outstay my welcome. Like, here's the story. Whee!
Here's the story. We're done.
and like Scott Pilgrim out the window, like, whee! Where did she go? She just left. Leave him anymore, right?
On the whole story of Apocalypse Love, where did you get that creativity on just the writing? How did the storyline come to you? Was it a previous, just work, something you noticed, or?
I've been trying to learn how to write over the last 20 years, I guess. Like I was just not seeing anything written how I like it written, and I started to write scripts for feature films, and it all
Right.
started in this crazy like four girls being like, it was called Hit Women back in the day, and there's a trailer somewhere on YouTube of me on a rooftop with a giant sniper rifle, like, oh my god! And like the sniper rifle has like bling on it, and says hottie and like rhinestones on it, and I'm just on a rooftop, like, and the whole thing was like, they don't scope out sales with like their eyes, they scope it out through their, like, it was just like, that was like kind of like the beginnings of my writing as a funny, like, it was supposed to be an action comedy, and it's still, the script still exists somewhere in the ether.
Yeah.
And it was just like four Valley girls as hit women for some government agency. And it just like kind of flowed into other scripts of like, I have this one called Finding POTUS, which is like this guy, his name is Tim Band, and he decides to like, he's like top of his class, and he gets hired to be the president's Band-Aid, literally, because his last name is Band, and the president's like, ha ha ha. And the whole movie is about this guy on his first day on the job as a White House intern for the president, and the president doesn't want to be there, and so all he does is like Houdini acts like ninja smoke, and like, where the hell did the president go? And the whole point was like, the Secret Service isn't there to like, they're there to secure the president because he keeps running away, so they have to secure him down in the White House. So that's why it's called Finding POTUS, and it's from this kid's perspective on first day on the job, and it just drives him crazy, and he quits. So it's like, my progression of weird writing just has been like going up steadily into these like weird places, and then like this just is like another iteration, and the Valley Girl Hit Women turned into Breaking Barbie eventually.
Yeah.
And it just, I always like zombies, and I always like aliens, and
But it's really fascinating to see how your mind is going,
yeah.
The whole creativity part of it.
On my YouTube channel, I have my very first thing that I ever did and wrote, which was a fan film for the video game Blood Rain, if you remember that thing.
I remember that thing, and I remember they actually came out with a cartoon.
Yeah, I did a fan film back in the day. It's like the very first thing I ever did, and I played Blood Rain because I was cosplaying Blood Rain. I have like those really amazing blades made by a friend who makes costume pieces. And I actually was like sitting there, because the movies like were so I'm like, I can do a fan film better. So not really, but it's very, very close to the video game. I'm running around killing Nazis in my little fan film, and I made all the costumes myself, so it's like, there's like a photo somewhere of me like on the floor making giant Nazi flags. And then at the end of the fan film is my favorite part, because after the credits roll, there's like this little part where Blood Rain bumps into Captain America, because I had a friend who had that cosplay. And I'm like, Blood Rain? Captain America, what are you doing here? Well, I'm fighting Nazis. What are you doing? Well, I'm fighting Nazis too. We're kind of having poker night with Wonder Woman, because she's here fighting Nazis too. Like what happens? Like in Nazi Germany, all these people are like fighting them. Like eventually they have to like bump into each other, right? Because everyone's fighting Nazis. It would have been hysterical if I got one of my Indiana Jones friends to like, the things we could do if we just had the time.
And money.
Right. I didn't want to say it, but yeah. But yeah, you can see there's a web series called The Building of Good and Evil on my YouTube channel. It's 10 episodes of like this insane freaking concept where I'm like this like one human actress trying to make it in Hollywood, but I'm living in a building filled with demons and angels. So like everyone on the 6th floor is like a demon, and I'm neighbor of the beast because I live in 667. And the seventh floor are all angels because they 777 go to heaven, and
Oh
that's
yeah.
all kind of related into the industry, like how like agents and like all lawyers are demons and they all have horns, and like the people that are great in the industry, like the post-production people, they're angels because they save. Yeah.
They save the day every day.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the concept of that thing. There's 10 episodes of that. And then I did 3 seasons of another show called Goth Girl, which I didn't write, but I was this crazy black dreaded goth chick, which kind of like inspiration.
That's the picture I seen. It looked like you had some dreads and black hair,
Yeah,
like
that's just
lipstick.
insane. There's 3 seasons of that. I didn't write that show. My very good friend Nick Griffo wrote that, but I started it, and my God, was I able to do some crazy kung fu. Oh, she has rage. She's like a goth chick with rage issues. So
Yeah.
Wow. There's a lot of really weird stuff that I've always been into. I would love to try and do some mainstream stuff, but like in the weird category. That's like the dream. If I could just continue this kind of thing and get paid for it, mainstream money, that would be like amazing.
Oh yeah, you could do anything you want.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I think that's what we're all needing is a little bit of influx from somebody that actually believed in us and believed in our project and didn't try to steal it.
Right. IP is king. That's it.
That is the hard part right there, is to keep somebody from stealing your ideas.
Yeah. That's why you have to be the first one out the door and like, here, I did it. Ha! And I can prove it. It's on the internet forever.
Yeah. You can look at the date.
Yep. That's all you could do. Like you could do like, I uploaded this at this point and you uploaded yours at this point. I win.
Give me my check.
Yeah. Make it rain up in here.
Be nice.
Right. Always be kind. Don't burn bridges. My best advice to anyone trying to be in this industry. Don't burn bridges.
Hey, I've told a lot of people that, and then something in their head, I don't know. And next thing you know, you hear, don't work with them anymore.
Right.
Don't you do that. Don't you work with them anymore. I'll do what I want.
That's right. I'll make my own decisions. Thank you very much.
Exactly. That's why I ain't got a whole lot of sponsors. I got one sponsor and they're totally fine with everything I'm doing. I don't.
Awesome. Well, thank you, sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want somebody to give me a wad of cash every month and then think they can come in here and tell me how to run my show.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And I've actually had conversations with indie film people that when they get funding to do a movie,
mm-hmm.
it's hit or miss if you get one that does the funding, whether they actually want to be there and tell you how to do it, or they just stand back and wait for the revenue.
This is why my first 3 movies I've self-funded. I'm like, I need to do this exactly the way I want to do it. But I'm willing to sell out for the right price.
Oh, you sell out.
just let
I don't know. I mean, would you really be selling out if you got syndicated?
No, I would love to just collect those checks. That's all. Mama didn't raise no fool for sure.
Well, yeah, you could go from a Chevy to a Benz or a BMW.
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably still drive Chevy.
Yeah, I've had a Chevy. I've had them all. I'm kind of a car person that's like a side hobby.
Yeah, I got to pick up truck.
Yeah.
That was way overpriced.
Yeah, I hear that very much.
Everything's overpriced.
Yes, for sure.
Man. Well, when you go to Alabama, what part of Alabama are you going to?
Birmingham.
Okay. You'll be 4 hours from me.
Oh, I'm going there
That's
for a
long.
music festival.
Yeah, see, that's a long drive. Come up here just to be on the podcast for an hour.
Ah, well, we can always do this, like anytime you want. If I can wake up in time.
Well, I was just gonna say I got to make sure you're awake first.
Yeah. We're all the creatives are all night people. We just want to be up all night. But I don't know
Dude,
why.
I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I go to work. Got to be there at 5:30. I get off
Right.
at 3:30. I'll
Right.
come home, take a shower, work on the show. But days I don't have to work on the show,
Mm-hmm.
I'll come home, eat, take a shower, and I go straight to freaking bed. I am so wore out because I've been nothing but a night person all my life.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I was driving truck, Monday through Friday, I was doing night shift.
Mm-hmm.
I had more fun, I mean, vampire days,
Well, because
what
you're
I-
creative too. It just kind of runs with us. They're all like creative vampires. The
pretty much. I'm not a queen.
nighttime creatures. We're not. David, thank you for having me on your show. I am so happy to talk to your listeners. I am so happy and so grateful that you guys let me talk about this crazy this.
I know. I mean, you're just kind of like that's what I said when, before the show and everything. I mean, it was just like, I was so impressed with how much stuff, that creativity that goes through you and all the things that you've done. I mean, it's just impressive. It really is impressive. And I thank you for being on
Was
the
your
show.
big question like the whole like bodybuilding stuff? Did you see all
I
that?
didn't see that. Did you do bodybuilding?
Yeah, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. That's a side hobby.
I didn't
I have
see
two
that
very
online.
expensive hobbies: making movies and bodybuilding.
Now I feel bad because I got a gut going on right now.
Oh, it's okay.
I haven't been able to get back in the gym. It is so hard. I know. I need to
Yeah.
do something. I mean, like I said, you go put on a pair of blue jeans, you got to push your belly in, do all kinds of, I can't do it. And I refuse to go up a size in pants. I refuse. I'm not
It's
doing
expensive.
Yeah. And it also makes me feel fatter.
Right.
So I got to make time. I got to start getting in the gym.
Yep. I encourage you.
Thank you. Call me every morning at 3 o'clock and tell me to go to the gym.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, hey, did you go? I'll be your like LA I'll be your LA trainer.
Ooh. It'd be like I
Right?
hit the big, it'd be like I had,
Yeah.
I hit the big time. I've have an actual LA trainers. Thank you very much.
And I'll be like, whip crack, go. Did you go? Whip crack.
There you go. Nothing but fun. All right, girl. Well, we've been
Thank
on
you
here for
so
an hour and
much.
25. And we'll tell everybody bye. And I thank you so much for being on the show. This has been a blast.
Thank you for having me. Thank all your viewers. Just thank you. So grateful.
There's 5 or 6 of them out there somewhere. I don't know where they're at.
Great. Every one of them counts. There's no such thing as I'll take it, every one of those 5.
Yeah. And everybody pay attention because we're going to put some links on here where you can find Apocalypse Love. And
on Instagram, it's at Apocalypse Love Movie, or you can find it through me, Vera Vanguard, or you can just go apocalypselovemovie.com. That's where we have all our screenings, and we're going to Wasteland Weekend. We were selected to play there. In case there's any Wastelanders out there, I'll be there.
Awesome. Is that in Alabama? Where's that at?
That's here in California at the Edwards Air Base.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I can make that. Yeah, we'll talk about it after we do this.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Remember, everybody, please like, share, follow, subscribe. check out Miss Vera Vanguard and all her links and the Apocalypse Love movie. Y'all
you.
are going to love it. It is winning awards everywhere, all in Europe, UK area, Switzerland, all over the place. People are loving this movie. Y'all check it out. Get it off Amazon. What was the other place? Amazon and what?
It's just on Amazon right now, but it's going to be in Redbox, Tubi, Plex, Prime. Eventually, it's just that brand new. Like they just put it out on Blu-ray and DVD right now, but it's coming.
Okay.
It's coming.
All right, cool. All right, y'all. Well, we're going to get out of here. Bye.